Yo, what's up guys, Seiishizo here, and let's look at Heihachi Mishima. He does have this skill set where there is block beneficial effects on the skill 1 with a 50 rate. I don't really like 50 rates on that in the first place, so it's kind of bad. But we also have that on the skill 3, which has a 100% rate, and then also damage increase for each harmful effect. It does also get Endure. I'm not sure what the Endure is all about. The skill 2 is a attack all enemies and proportions to their max HP. There's also max HP damage. No, wait, there's no max HP damage over there. There's just in the skill 1 and the skill 2, which is a little bit awkward as well. But defense break on that altogether. Let's see how much that actually goes for. He is full skilled. He does also have a dungeon lead of 44% attack, which is pretty interesting. However, there's one big issue. And the big issue is he's an HP type and therefore he has 703 attack. If we look at the multipliers do say the following. We're attacking by attack, and then you would say HP. No, it's targets max HP, and then it's once again targets max HP. And then we have the multiplier on the skill 3. So I will try to use him in a speed team, and that speed team is looking like this team over here. That is the fastest team out there, and then it's just a one-to-one replacement of a Brandia. So you definitely make this whole team full free to play, because therefore, you don't need any Brandy or any pay-to-win-ish unit, net 5 or whatnot. Let's see if that works. Rune's definitely not free-to-play friendly at all. Nope, absolutely not. But let's see if this works. And if this kind of works, I also want to transition this into somewhat of a weaker team, where we more go for like a rogue, a team-up, longer fight, maybe add in like an Argan or something like that. Well, we don't really need the Argan for the lead anymore. But yeah, let's just see how this works out right now, because I actually have no clue. I haven't tested it yet. I haven't seen the damage just yet. So let's see how much damage we do. I did max out all of the units with the best runes I have, just for this first showcase to see if this actually is worth doing something or if it's kind of bad in the first place. So in this case, he actually wastes his skill 3 over there, which isn't really great. We do have buff block over there, but in this case, we won't have the S2 or the S3. 10k per hit. I'm not impressed by a 10k per hit on enemy max HP, to be honest. That's not that much damage at all. That's, no. Like 10k per hit on like my highest damage output set on an S2? Well, let's see how much the S3 does, because the S3 is the main damage hit that would also hit on the boss because of more harmful effects and stuff. And yeah, sometimes these units just tend to go for all of their skills. Also, skill 1 for 10k on my highest damage set. That's fairly mediocre. 74k on that hit, whereas the Hua was already doing more damage. Okay, at least that kind of works, I guess. Let's see over here. We do land all of that. We do land all of that. We do land that. How much can you do for damage? No way you did. No way, Countess. No way. What the hell is even that? Like, sure, the skill has a backup buff block, but holy freak, the damage was nearly non-existing. What the actual freak is that damage? What? I didn't even see how much it was, but he did like 10% of the HP bar of the unit. Like, Crow can one-shot from this position with the same runes, 100%. Also, what's it called? Brandia, for sure, one-shots at that position with the same runes. But, man, that was so freaking weak, though. Holy shit. Let's see if we can get a good rotation in the future thing again. So in this case, we're not landing anything, which is kind of bad. So we're not having anything. He goes for an S2, and S2 also doesn't have the buff block. Nearly killing the 2 side crystals, though. Like, that's only the thing that I could say is, like, killing the side crystals nearly is a point where I would say it's not as bad. Do we land the buff block? We did actually land the buff block over there. This team is definitely not that much of a safe team because, well, as you've have probably noticed, yeah, absolutely no damage. What the hell? We have a shit ton of debuffs. If there was a strip on the S2, it would have been maybe a something. Okay, that one dies right now. We still have buff block on the unit. But we deal absolutely no damage. That's, wow. Yeah, no, this unit, absolutely trash. I do want to see it. Let's just do a single run, so it's easier for me to see how it does look like for the damage on the skill 3, if there's actually a good rotation on it. But wow, that is ass, man. Holy hell. But also, why once again make a unit full HP type with full attack scaling? That's just... It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. But let me do the perfect AI myself, because in this game, they cannot really do perfect AI for you. So if you press the own skills, you at least have perfect AI. So going for skill 2 over here, doesn't really matter. Whatever we do on this, just armor break it. We kill on this hit. Hua does an insane amount of damage. Hua was a good improvement. That's definitely a true thing. But this thing, however, I'm not really feeling the vibe. So let's see. S2 does land that, but not the other. This does actually land. We have to strip that off. Okay, not that many debuffs at the moment, but let's see how much damage. Okay, we only have 2 debuffs. How much damage are we dealing with just 2 debuffs? So, giving the Endure 49k damage. Was legit dealing more damage. And Heihachi has my best damage set. Hua has my second best damage set. I want to see how much damage Hua's doing on just the skill 1. Because Hua should move right now. How much damage is this per hit? 26k times 2. So, yeah, she's doing more damage on the skill 1 than Heihachi is doing on the skill 3. Yeah, Countess. I don't really know, man. I don't really know. Let's actually do one thing. So let's say we put you in the lead. Let's say we give the whole set that you have towards an Argan, which is arguably the same thing. It's a lower rate of buff blocking on the skill 3. It can actually brand. I think you're looking at the same base speed, so it's actually a one-to-one translation of the whole set. It is lacking crit rate right now, but the crit rate is fixed by this. He doesn't have accuracy in the S3. He needs a little bit more. So let's actually fix that by the artifact itself. Just for the idea of it, we just give you this sure thing. And then we give you a damage on wind. And that seems to be like a proper one. Let's see the same damage output right now. Tuning and everything is still fine. I am overstacking crit rate on every unit except for the Argan right now. But just for the idea of it, like how much damage are we dealing with this? Like sure, the 44 attack lead is kind of nice, but why do we have to make a PvE unit? Like in the end, it's just a PvE unit, right? Like power creeping and everything, sure, man. Like who cares? Oh wait, these two are in wrong turn order right now because of that's kind of bad. Yeah, that's definitely kind of bad. But we're gonna see the Argan, or like the Argan damage is more about the Argan damage than anything, anyways. So turn order doesn't matter as much. So we have this, we do land that. Yep, we can just do an S2. Doesn't really matter. In this case, there's armor break already, so actually the damage output for this is fine. So we actually bring it to a similar damage position. Let's go for the S2 as well. And let's see Argan damage right now. I don't think Argan can kill from here. It also has chance for branding. It has chancing for landing everything. We have a 25 increase per harmful effect rather than just a 15, which is absolutely nothing. We are doing 23k per hits and on branding 32k. So this Argan skill is already stronger. Because we were looking at like 42, just 2 hits, even without the branding, already do more damage, and that's not even enough to kill from this position on. A Crow does more damage, a Brandia does more damage. If I put a Crow in this position, I think the Crow does start outspeeding the other units. Let's actually see that. Why not? We're testing like a few things out there right now anyways. But there's a lot more base speed on the Crow, so I do fear that he would start outspeeding things. But yeah, that's pretty ass. That's really ass. So let's see over here if we switch out you towards a Crow. I think you will be too fast. You towards the Crow. Of course, Crow doesn't have buff block and the other two have buff block, so they have more value by the buff block. But then again, the Argan already does more damage and he has buff block on this skill 3 too. And he even has skill 2 with buff block. So technically, Heihachi is a downgrade from an Argan in the first place. And Argan is already not something you really want to be using at all because it's just not dealing enough damage. The other one is even dealing worse damage. So let's copy all of this. Are we too fast? We are definitely too fast. Can we just remove something easily? So I don't have to make too much of a fuss about the speed. Let's just put you towards a slower speed. I think I have something like that. Yeah. We are lacking more crit rate right now, but that is kind of fine for the lack of crit rate. I think I can deal with that. So let's actually put you once again to an accuracy 3 just to be fair. We put you towards a wind damager also to be fair. Let's just take the second one, who cares? And let's give the Lauren +1 extra speed, just for the idea of like having the right tune order in there. Let's just give a 17er on this, just to make it easy. We will rock the damage output by a little bit. Give me 17, 17. Okay, lowering damage output by a little bit, but who cares about that? So this one is all in tune, all in tune. And you then also go for this hit. You could miscrit because you're not fully maxed out, but if I were to go for like a pure efficiency set and I would actually properly check that out, then I will probably come to similar stats with max crit rate. So let's see how much we can do over here. So we didn't land that at the moment, but that doesn't matter. You still kill. Yup. And then we go for this, and we go a little bit for that. It would be so nice if in PvE everything uses the right skill always, but maybe we'll be a little bit too OP with Lucians, but then again, so let's see, skill 2 right now, yep. And then we're looking at how much damage is a crow doing, 81k. So doesn't kill either. So even the crow doesn't kill. Wow, I'm surprised about that. But yeah, that's a lot closer towards like killing in the first place. That is pretty much double the amount of damage of the Heihachi. Yeah, that's not really a thing. Let's also translate the exact same set towards a Brandia, just to have like the full rotation of the comparison of all of the units out there with the exact same set. So let's switch you out towards a Brandia. Where my Brandia? Brandia over there. I think that the speed was lowered enough where I can not have to switch anything right now. Like, the only thing that I would claim the unit good for at the moment is the 44 attack lead in dungeons. That's legit about the only thing. So if we go this, yep, that's all fine. That's all fine. Also on the crow, if we went for the crow with a higher crit damage skill 3, it would have actually done more. So that's just to keep the fair comparison between all of the 3 units. I'm also gonna put the accuracy in you, even though it doesn't work at all, but just for the fair comparison, because crit damage 3 on the crow would have probably killed it. But let's see on the rotation over here. We're also right away on the right track for the amount of speed that we need for the right rotation. So let's see what we have. Once again, I'm just going to do it myself, because otherwise I'm waiting for the game to decide if it's going to be nice, and mostly it's not. So double 40k on that one right there. And then we go for this, yep. Let's go for the S2. They landed already. This, yep. Let's do the S2 just to be fair, to not give a slow as well. Okay, how much damage can Brandia do on the same set? We're looking at 113k. So Brandia is arguably doing about 3 times as much, a little bit less, like let's say 2.7, 2.8 times as much damage as the Heihachi. Yeah, it's one of those that you might not want to be using that Heihachi until above. I kind of understand that if you make PvP units, that you would say it's like, oh, a siege unit, we don't want to power creep it. Like, oh, a RTA unit, maybe we don't want to power creep that. But a freaking PvE unit, just a pure PvE unit, given the base attack of, man, this base attack is non-existing. Like, I don't even know a single attacker kind of unit that does this low a base attack. That's absolutely absurdly low. Like, let's just go through a few units. Like, who has the same amount of attack? Like, a Nana has more attack than you. A Bolvric has more attack than you. You pretty much have the same attack as an Abellio. Like, what the fuck is even this, man? Like, what else is a random? Like, 703, man. It's so terrible. It's so crazy bad. Like, these are proper attackers. Like, freaking 890, 800-ish. Like, that's normal. But, man, like, even a freaking Nezuko Fire has more attack than you. I don't even know what she does. Like, fuck. Like, that's insane, man. Cigar has more attack than you. Like, what the freak are you doing? Like, man, bring you. Even Diana nearly has more attack than you. It's about the same. Like, that's just absurd, man. That's, what the hell? Pheromos? Pheromos, not yet. But yeah, you can kind of see the comparison in how much attack some of these units have. And that 703 base attack is really freaking low. If it was actually dealing by his max HP, he would have actually dealt a fair bit of damage. Also, target max HP, if this was included in the skill 3, we would have had a fair bit of damage. If this was not 15, but actually like a proper number like you have on the Brandia with like 40%, we would have done a proper number. Also, grants Endure. Give yourself attack buff, brother. Give yourself attack buff. Why do you need Endure? If he did attack buff, he would have at least had pretty much a little bit more damage. He at least would have outdamaged the Argan. Would have still not outdamaged the Crow or the Brandia by a long shot, but at least attack buff kind of makes sense, right? I don't know. So yeah, in the end, verdict on Heihachi Mishima, ass. Same as all of the other collab units, pretty much. They're all ass. It's just terrible. The only good thing about this whole dude is this. So if we're talking balance patch, I have some hopes for him to be good. But first of all, remove this shit, make it attack, man. Give him like, even if you make him like 880 attack, this is still not gonna do more damage than a Brandia or a Crow. I still think that Crow, like how much attack are we looking at on a Crow or a Brandia? Just for the fair comparison, or an Argan. Let's check all three of those. So Brandia 823, not crazy high, but definitely more on the high side. Then we were talking about a Crow. How much are you looking at? 769. It's kind of on the low side too, but at least this one does 50% per debuff extra, which is a fair bit more. A lot more than freaking 15. This one over here, how much are you looking at? 790. You're a 4-star. Yep, and then you're still doing like 25% more. And you have a chance to brand as well on top of the buff block. If he had higher activation rates, if this activation was like 60 or 70%, Argan would have been best in slot, but he kind of has ass rates on this, so therefore he's kind of bad. So yeah, Heihachi, I have hopes for him for the balance patch, but who knows when, where, how, and where. But to be honest, most of the collab units, kind of ass. Is what it is, guys. Thanks a lot for watching for this one. See you as always in the next one.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.